Good afternoon, everyone, especially to our beloved instructor, Miss Ma'am Yvonne Catherine Diasis. And in this afternoon, I am going to discuss about climate and weather. Since that naaman ta sa Philippines, I decided to focus the discussion about climate and weather locally. So it means diri lang sa Pilipinas. Before I will start to discuss my topic about climate and weather, let me show the learning objectives, which at the end of the topic, the learners are expected to appreciate the science of weather and climate, identify and explain the changes occur in local weather, and interpret how the weather shifts. So, begin the discussion. Let us first define what is weather and climate. So, magsugod sa weather. Weather tells the condition of the air and atmosphere within a particular area or place in a short-term basis. So, it means weather is actually a day-to-day basis. For example, karon naaka sa inyong balay, naminaw sa akong report kunuhay, and then pagtanaw nimo sa gawas kay nagulan. So it means the weather today is raining. Dili ra kay siya sabton. It's because it is the daily measurement of the temperature, precipitation, and other conditions such as cloudiness, thunderstorm, and rain. So another example, kung naminaw kag balita sa TV Patrol Northern Mindanao, says that heavy rain is expected to pour in Mindanao, especially in Bukidnon. So this is interpreted as the weather of the day in that area only. So we are now done defining what is weather. So let us now proceed to know what is climate. Climate describes the average long-term weather patterns and conditions over a specified time frame for specific area. Best example of this is El Nino and La Nina. The hint is long-term weather. It means it lasts for a month. Like for example, the climate during March to April sa Pilipinas is very hot, and then walay ulan-ulan, time na sa summer, nami kay mga ligo. It also describes typical conditions of regional, national, and world climate which are likely to be present at a particular location and time of year. Like nowadays, kung magpadayon ang climate change, daga na maapektuhan from living things to non-living things, especially atong places na dili stable ang weather. The average of rainfall is considered part of a climate. Climate statistics include both average conditions and frequencies of occurrence of severe weather, heavy rainfall, and other weather events which could impact health and property. Now, let us talk about the Philippine climate. Kung ma-remember pa nato, we have studied biomes by Ma'am Yvonne atong second year pa ta, no? And then, our country is described as tropical rainforest because some of the country have an average precipitation in all months. Labi na to mga daghang kakahuyan. But it is also tropical savanna because some part are characterized by tall grasses and occasional trees. Ako rin Google. Now, let us proceed to the climate type of our country. I am showing you now here the different color of climate type. Now, the type 1 is color blue, which is two pronounced season, dry from November to April, and wet during the rest of the year. Next is type 2, no dry season with a pronounced rainfall from November to January. And then the type 3 is color red. The seasons are not very pronounced, relatively dry from November to April, and wet during the rest of the year. And the last is type 4, it's color yellow. Rainfall is more or less distributed throughout the year. So here is the different color in the different areas of the Philippines that indicate what climate type in that place. Since that seasons and climate are connected, let us discuss the seasons, of course, here in our country. We know already that in our country we have two seasons only, rainy and dry season. Ang rainy season mahitabo from June to November, and dry season is from December to May. But the dry season is subdivided further into cool dry season. So, in December to February na siya may tabo. So, in this season, tugnaw siya pero dili ting ulan. Next is hot dry season. May tabo na siya sa March to May. Mao ni siya ang summer, nga lami mga ligo kay tag-init. Now, since that we have discussed about the climate types and the seasons of the Philippines, let us know how to describe the weather using parameters. So what are these parameters? So first, let us discuss temperatures. This parameter describe how hot or cold our environment is. In the Philippines, we use the unit of degrees Celsius to describe the temperature. Like for example, the average temperature in the Philippines is around 27 degrees Celsius. Next is rainfall. The amount of rainfall and the rate of rainfall are measured in terms of how much rain is collected by a rain gauge. So this is a rain gauge looks like. The units of measurement is either millimeter or inches of rainfall. One type of rain gauge that measures rain is called the tipping bucket. The amount of rain and the rate of rainfall are obtained by counting how many times the bucket tips over a certain period of time. The next is humidity. It describes how wet or dry the air is. In other words, it describes the amount of water vapor that is present in the air. The presence of water vapor in the air is important due to the property of water to take in heat. Water is actually very inabsorbing heat. Thus, the higher the amount of water vapor in the air or humidity, the more heat is present. Maong kung kabantay mo, kung mag-ulan sa hapon, ang udtuan na grabe na kayo kaigam because of humidity. And the next parameter is pressure. It is the amount of force inserted by air over a particular area. Indeed, air exerts pressure on us. We feel the increase in air pressure kung mubiyahe ka, for example, sa Baguio to Manila. Why? Because that air pressure is dependent on the distance relative to sea level. Best example also kung nakasakay na mong airplane, naog ninyo mura mong mabungol. It is because of the pressure in the air at sea level. Bisan pag naka-pressurize ang mga aircraft nga inyong gisakyan. And then, sunod kay wind speed. The wind speed is measured by means of an anemometer and has units of kilometers per hour or meter per second. So, mao ni ang itsura sa anemometer. Mao na siya. Basically, naa siya 3 semi-spherical cups placed vertically and connected together at one end along a vertical axis. Maunang inig-hit sa hangin sa usa ka cups ani makatuyok na ang anemometer. Aya na dayon ma-measure ang wind speed depending sa anemometer speed rotation. Last but not the least, ang wind direction. This parameter refers to where the direction, the wind. Kaning do. So, mo ni siya ang picture sa wind direction, wind vane. So, kaning duha, wind speed o wind direction, pareho ni sila nga makahatag og information kung asa og kanusa ang moabotay nga bagyo at a certain location. May measure ning wind direction gamit ang wind vane. So mao ni ang wind vane. So as a conclusion, I will tell the awareness of local weather and climate because they are very necessary in our daily lives. It can affect the decision that we make every day, especially ang weather forecast, no, nga gahatag permi og warning sa mga farmers and then sa mga aircraft and maritime para sa operations. So grabe kadako og tabang to be aware these things. So that's all. Salamat everybody and God bless you all.